Hello, welcome to the Black Advancement segment of Good Heritage. I'm Shanice Goodman. To my left, I have Deanna Ali. To my other left, I have Ken Stewart. I also have, to my right is Danielle Ali, and to the further right is Greg Goodman. The Black Advancement is a movement built to uplift and combat problems in the Black community through action and dialogue. Today we're going to be discussing the topic of good heritage. When the Black Advancement was originally thought of, we were asked, why do we want to specifically focus on Black people? Granted that there are several reasons and explanations for this. However, one of the main pillars of our reasoning was the issue of self-hatred. This issue goes deep within the hearts of Black people. Intra-racism in specific has contributed to our fashion choices, hairstyles, and affects our romantic relationship. With that being said, does intra-racism contribute to the destruction of the Black community? And question number one is, do hairstyles contribute to stereotypes about Black people, even among Black people?
Yes, and I will use myself as an example. I have straight, long black hair, and every time someone will come and ask me, what are you? And my first answer is, or what are you mixed with? And my first answer is, I'm Black. And then I know how to answer that question now because so many people ask me that question, and I'm like, I'm mixed with this, this, and this. And the reason I bring that up is because it's kind of a hard concept to think that people who are Black, especially Black women who have straight hair, it's A, it's all theirs, and B, and long black hair, B, it's theirs, and that you could be fully Black, as if Black people can't have long hair and can't grow long hair. And even just the concept of, why long hair is so popular in the first place, it has to do with, standards of beauty within popular culture and such and such. But I do think that it does contribute to intra-racism, but specifically to a self-hatred that because you're Black, you can't have this certain type of hair, and when you do, that you're not fully Black. As if, what is that really supposed to mean?
You guys remember the movie Malcolm X, right?
Mm-hmm.
You remember he was known for conking his hair? And as a matter of fact, you watched the movie, he actually almost said it was burning up, he had to wash it out. When I was growing up, I'm not quite that old, but in the 70s, that's what they did. They actually straightened their hair. These are men that straightened their hair so they could press it and put a nice little wavy hair so they had the good hair. When I was growing up, those guys were thug-like. I mean, only thugs would do that. And it was in the corner with the do-rags, and they act like thugs. These days, I don't know. I think a good-looking haircut on a black guy is great. A nice fade. Now I'm older, I can't do it, but a nice fade is great on a black guy. That doesn't stereotype. That shows very good grooming, in my opinion. I'll stay away from the women issue because women have their own special issues when it comes to hair. But no, I don't really think that because somebody's hair doesn't necessarily show a stereotype. Unless you jerry curl your hair.
Yeah.
But
that just means you're lost. Nobody should have a jerry curl in 2000.
I'm gonna tell you, I went down to where was I at? We're down in Mississippi.
That explains everything.
And,
See, now that's a stereotype right there.
well, no, I'm serious. I go down there. We went because I had my wife's niece graduated from down there. It's school down here from Mississippi. Anyway, we went down there, and the first thing I saw was Jericho. I thought Jericho died 10 years ago, but no, he was still wearing his Jericho, and he's still sporting it.
Okay.
He probably got that on discount. It doesn't cost a lot to get a curl in these days.
This is a very complex issue because, for one thing, the natural hair movement is growing rapidly. A lot of females are taking part of the natural hair movement, and I think it's a good thing, But I've also seen the negative comments about it. Like, say if you're not participating in it, they're like, well, why aren't you embracing your African American heritage, or why aren't you embracing that culture? And they kind of look at you like, if you're not doing it, that you're not true to being black. And so I've had conversations with girls who take part in the natural hair movement. They're like, well, I feel like I'm closer to being who I am, but then I don't feel like hair should define who you are. But in society, I guess it is a way to show people that you are in tune with your culture. But I have curly hair, natural curly hair, and I don't wear my curly hair all the time, not because I'm not trying to embrace my natural state or state of hair. It's just I don't want to get up early in the morning to get it ready. So I'd rather straighten it so I can just, and that's more of like a convenience to me, but it goes a lot deeper. I know a lot of girls who take part in the natural hair movement, and they're very adamant about it.
And I do want to say something more about the concept of good hair, especially growing up with it and fully realizing what it really means, and how I have quote unquote good hair, in the sense that my hair straightens easily, and then when I wash it and everything, it really curls. And you could see that when I wear my hair straight, might get that concept that I'm trying to conform to, popular society's identification of what my standard of beauty should be like. That I'm trying to conform to, quote unquote, a white girl, a Caucasian girl. And that's not always necessarily true. I do also wear my hair straight because of convenience, and during the wintertime it's cold, and going outside with a wet head is not fun, and that means I have to get up even earlier to blow dry my hair, and that's very time consuming. So that's one of the reasons why I wear my hair straight, but it's not always necessarily to conform to popular culture and to give up my blackness to get this other ideal standard of beauty. And then there are times when I do wear my hair curly, and I am embracing, quote unquote, my blackness. But it should be that, I should be able to wear my hair curly. And then another thing too, within the type of way your hair curls and how your hair is in its most natural state, there are different grades. Some girls have really curly hair, some girls have kinky hair, then you have girls who have like puffy kind of hair or like nappy hair, and they're still within that spectrum. There's still kind of like a preference still towards the curly hair versus more of the kinky hair. And I'm hoping during this natural hair care movement that we're embracing all of the different hair types, because that's what makes Black women so cool, is that our hair and our looks, we are so diverse. We can wear it straight and we can wear it curly, in a matter of days. And it's really cool to do that, but you have to be careful about that spectrum and going towards one that indicates if your hair curls, that means you're mixed with something else and you're not all the way quite black. And then when it doesn't, means that you are. That's kind of a good hair concept. So yeah, modern day.
Great.
And everything's pretty much covered. I'll just, for the most part, the only time hair with me really matters is when people are looking for a job.
Mm-hmm.
Then you may have to do whatever has to be done to get it right. You really can't get, I'll say this, it's harder to get a job with cornrows than it is with a Caesar cut or something, a low cut. Yeah, something like that. So, yeah, when it comes to that kind of stuff, you may have to conform. Nobody wants to hire a dude with cornrows if he's 40.
I have a question. Do you think that the professional community should start to embrace Black hairstyles, or hairstyles that are considered Black or ethnic?
I think a lot of it has been embraced. Like, the only reason I say cornrows, I've seen professional dudes with dreads and everything else, because it doesn't look, how do I put this? It doesn't look threatening, because they've seen, like, there's all kinds of people that have dreadlocks and things like that, low cuts and all that stuff. That doesn't really, define who you are for the most part, but they'll take someone with dreadlocks and hire them. Cornrows just has the look of trouble.
It's tied.
And
tied
yeah,
to
it's
prison,
tied.
yeah.
That is tied to trouble. That's why I said that's the only hairstyle you really shouldn't go into a job interview with. Anything else, I think is pretty much accepted by everyone, even ourselves. Now, as far as like you said before, as far as the women go, that's a whole other issue.
Yeah.
I'm not a woman, and I don't toil in y'all's affairs
That's right.
about your hairs and such.
Shanice, you did bring up a good point though about how hair is in the professional sector. I'm not gonna lie, I have thought about when my hair is curly in my profession, and even when I was an RA in college, how that perception would be to going into like a new environment or an environment that necessarily where curly hair and other types of hair like that are seen as untamed and unprofessional. And I think that it's important for us to keep wearing our hair like that and in its natural state to show that it's not unprofessional and that our hair shouldn't be tied to an unprofessional image, which goes into a greater societal thing that's saying that, you know, you have to look a certain way, and a certain way that is look is professional and that it's smart, and that another way is unprofessional and not smart, and that has ties into other issues. Like,
See, I do have prejudice with, I'm telling you, with dreads. I know guys got dreads halfway down, you know, their anuses, right? In my opinion, that's a bit much. If I were hiring somebody, I would look at them and say, wow, you got all the way down here to your butt. I would hire you or not. And I look at them differently than I look at somebody who's at least, he has short hair. I don't think a man should ever have long hair. But I come from a different universe, different time.
Yeah,
I see a guy in a ball game tackle somebody by his dreads.
it happens.
So
But can I ask you, what do you see when you see someone with long hair? Why wouldn't you consider them maybe?
first thing I think about is dope smoking.
okay, so you see
the
that
Rastafari.
type of
Rastafari,
Rastafarian.
yeah.
And that's
Absolutely.
a particular religion also, in a sense that where that smoking marijuana is a way to connect with the higher deities. So in that particular religion. So that is tied to the religion. But I also want to say something about, you know, locks. Well, having locks, in all honesty, requires more maintenance than anything. It's a lot, especially when you have it when it's neat and it's fresh. I have a friend who she always keeps her hair neat and fresh, and it takes a lot of maintenance. And a lot of times people think that, you know, wearing your hair in that natural state doesn't take maintenance, and it really does. And I think that's a stereotype in and of itself, that when you wear your hair like that, you don't have control, you don't care about how you look, you just want to be free and wild. And that's not necessarily true. In all honesty, it takes a lot more maintenance to wear your hair like that, and those people aren't lazy. If they put in that amount of time into their appearance, then that also could say something about how they would be in the working world. So I would say that if people really knew, then they might form a different opinion.
And you never know, the guys with the short groomed hair, they might be the ones smoking. You don't know.
Could be. But it's all about stereotypes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, we're gonna take it to the guy on the couch who has something from our website.
Thank you. This comment comes from Mayor Cobblepot on do hairstyles contribute to stereotypes about black people, even among black people? I believe that they do. Everyone has some level of prejudice in their being from a combination of outside influences, i.e. TV, upbringing, etc., and personal experience. Those of us that are mature try our best to rise above these prejudices and treat all people equally. Just because someone is the same race does not mean that they are exempt from being stereotyped, at least initially. We blacks have a bountiful supply of negative stereotypes, and the style of our hair usually just causes a lean towards a more select few of them. For example, if there is a black man with dreadlocks, the immediate assumption may be that he enjoys smoking marijuana, which can put him in the drug dealer category or the lazy category. Back to you.
Alright, Do you guys have a reply to what's said in the web?
Yeah, I'm gonna say something else too. I mean, if you got a guy who's so concerned about his hair, I mean, most guys aren't. But if you get a guy, now a woman, I can say, if you got a guy that's gonna wash his hair it's something to be said about him. But that's what I'm gonna say.
Very metrosexual.
Yeah.
I think that's what
I
you're
mean,
doing.
most guys, most real guys are not gonna be as
I appreciate a real guy who takes care of himself and grooms himself, and takes care of his and values his appearance. And, you know, for the guy who gets his regular haircut every 2 weeks because, you know, he doesn't want his fade to, like, you know, grow or something else. Also, I do want to comment on a stereotype within, you know, our community. I think that with hair, it's also intergenerational as well, because the comments that you'll get about when I wear my hair naturally don't come from older Black women actually saying things like, oh, why are you wearing your hair like that, or your hair looks so big and, you know, kind of like messy in a sense. And it's like I get the advice from them to, well, if you're going for a job interview, maybe you want to straighten your hair. I think that it's been taught to us that our hair is, you know, not quite conventional. That's why I'm really happy about the natural hair movement, and I'm hoping that through that we embrace our hair and learn how to wear it and learn how to take care of it and not have to put chemicals in it to make it straight, which have been seen as being dangerous.
I just don't want the
And more costly.
natural hair movement to define us. Like, I don't want it to be like, because I'm having my hair natural, I'm Black.
I'm going to take it back to the website. If you go on the website, you can check out our research section, which is something that you can use to help back up your opinion when you are commenting on a section. It has tons of articles and different things that may keep your interest and as well back up your argument. The debates are also found on our website. Those are normally aired on YouTube, like we're having right here. So you also check on the debates tab. You can see different debates with other topics that we already discussed. Also, the solutions tab. Right now we're working on a solution, you know, because the Black Advancement is not just about talk. We try to put things into action right as we speak. We're working on a solution called Pin It Forward. We're working with inner city middle school students and trying to get them connected with HBCU college students to get some dialogue about what to do in the future, or etc. And hoping to start a mentorship out of that. Now we're gonna take a short break and come back to question number 2.